girls were very upset. They were very upset, very concerned, panicked. Their well-being was looked after by us, along with partners at TSS.
A sweet treat on a hot summer day, turning now to a major investigation into a North Carolina county elections chairman.
It all started on August 3rd when the 16-year-old step-granddaughter of James Edwin Yokley Jr. flagged down Wilmington officers saying she found pills in her and her friend's ice cream.
Investigators discovered video footage that showed Yokley was responsible for placing those pills into the ice cream for both girls. Police said the pills tested positive for MDMA and cocaine. That is all according to an arrest warrant.
Yokley currently serves as the chairman of the Surry County Board of Elections. Yokley was charged with contaminating food or drink with a controlled substance, felony possession of a Scheduled I narcotic, and felony child abuse, according to court records.
Joining us this morning to talk about a wild story here, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, kicking off a work week with this one. Right out of the gate, you can't make it up. Okay, so Savannah just mentioned the charges that are ahead. You got video proof, what appears to be video proof, there at the restaurant. Are you wanting to be on prosecution or the defense for this case?
I mean, let's start with this. Everyone in this country is entitled to a defense, innocent till proven guilty. And so, I mean, I tell clients all the time, I don't bring the facts. You bring the facts to me, and I'll work with what I receive. In this situation, this would be an uphill battle if you're defending. If I'm picking the easier side, it's obviously going to be the prosecution. This is pretty cut and dry. I mean, when they were there selecting their ice cream, if they didn't say, I want sprinkles, I want the syrup, oh yeah, and then give me the ecstasy on top. I know that no one asked for that when they were in line. So that's going to be problematic, because that one charge in terms of putting a controlled substance or contaminating a food substance with a controlled substance is the problem, because if you're giving a drug that has the intent to impair, which both of these drugs would have some impairing ability, I mean, I don't know any way around that. I mean, did it slip out of your pocket as you were like carrying both ice creams? Because it's two individuals. So, I mean, it had to be with intention. As you mentioned, they saw the video. I would assume the video is showing him drizzling it on. So to me, this is pretty hard case to beat. I mean, but not insurmountable in terms of punishment. You're talking about Class H's and Class I's. In North Carolina, our charges go from A to I. And so I being the lowest, that's the one with the possession of Schedule I, the MDMA. That H would be this other one that I mentioned, the contaminating of food. Neither one of them are, you're not talking about serious, significant time. I mean, I don't want to do a day in jail, but they are still, they have criminal times that could be connected to jail time.
Now, to clarify too, is Dairy Queen at any point responsible? They're not being named, right, as a responsible party here?
No, I mean, it seemed like they saw the video of him placing it in there somewhere in between. I mean, and this young lady, it could have been worse. And let's look at this. Looking at the entire facts, this 16-year-old girl, his step-granddaughter, was driving the vehicle, pulled over, and then flagged down officers once she realized something was weird. I mean, she could have taken this impairing substance and then maybe potentially crashed into someone else. I mean, I don't see anything on Dairy Queen's fault. I mean, unless the person actually handed him the ecstasy over the counter, yeah, then we'd have a bigger problem there. But this seems like he was acting alone in this scenario. But the problem is, it definitely should not have been adding any of those topics to this individual or a group of individuals, because it was the two step-granddaughters and another friend. So multiple people involved.
So he's not just a grandfather or a step-grandfather. I mean, he is for the county that he's with, Surry County Board of Elections. He's the chair. You got State Auditor Dave Bullock, who wants his resignation. Does he have a defense to keep his job? The girls didn't eat the ice cream. Yes, it could have been worse, but I mean, when you're a public official like this, what does this mean for his career?
Yeah, I mean, that same state auditor just appointed him most recently is now asking for him to step down. I mean, hey, you made me look bad. I put you in this position of authority. And I can quote Trump when talking about firing Fed Chair Lisa Cook. He says that, listen, these types of things call into question your ability to do your job. I mean, he was talking about fraud, something that, we're calling those white-collar crimes. Well, this is something that could physically actually hurt someone. And so now you're calling into question your ability to not just, conduct proper elections, but your sincerity on making sure that the people that appear in front of you don't face some type of crime, or I should say some type of harm. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I would obviously suggest that he step down if he hasn't already.
Yeah, I do want to point out we do have his resignation letter right here in front of me, and in his resignation letter, he also says that he claims that he was falsely accused and says that he's confident he will be exonerated of these accusations against him. If you are facing these kind of charges, but you do go ahead and resign in light of them, does that potentially help or hurt your case?
I mean,
Does that have any impact when you get into the court of law?
He's playing two games there. I mean, obviously he's playing a political game, which is if you make someone look bad that has appointed you and you're trying to save face and grace for down the road, and if you know that, look, this was not me, I'm going to go ahead and step out the way. I'll resign, beat the case, and I can always circle back. Now, this may still be hovering over his head, even if he beats the conviction, but hey, I'm going to step down, bring no negative light for the person that appointed me, because at some point, they can appoint me again.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.